City had a nightmare this past weekend as they suffered a defeat to high flyers Peterborough, and Lincoln City took full advantage as they beat Ipswich Town to move top of the pops. But will they be there after the midweek matches? We'll take a look at that and much more. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction. Today we'll take a look at matchday number 9 now in the League One, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe to keep you bang up to date with all things League One related, Blackburn Rovers related, well, football related. We got it all here, boys, under Warowski. That's right, countdown to the old Halloween, of course, next Saturday. Looking forward to that. But of course, big games coming this week before that. I want to make a big shout out, of course, to the Patreon gang supporting the channel behind the scenes. So respect to those guys for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. It does wonders for the channel, does wonders for the future of this brand as we try to kick it on forward to another level. If you are thinking about supporting the channel in another way, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roseys. But until then, let's jump into it. Take a look at how we all got on this past weekend, because there was plenty of games. Of course, some big upsets, of course, and some games didn't take place. Of course, COVID running rings around us once again. So that's socks bananas. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Jump in the deep end. The criteria, just in case you don't know, 0 to 4 you're in the shit-face gang, 5 to 9 straight-face score, 10 plus you're in the top bins. I don't think there's any of those. So kicking it all off with Gillingham against Fleetwood. That ended up as a 2-0 win for Fleetwood. Joey Barton's boys in the end actually went with a 1-1 draw. My scores are on the right, the predictions are on the left. Sorry, the real scores are on the left, my predictions are on the right. There we go. Anyway, so of course Fleetwood winning 2-0. Paddy Mann on score sheet, Ched Evans as well. Connor Ogilvie get himself sent off first. Dominic Samuel's boys on this one. Shame on them. Unfortunately, nothing for them today. We were actually Stanley against Bristol Rovers. That was postponed. Actually, won the 1-0 for Accrington Stanley. Meanwhile, Blackpool were victorious over MK Dons. That's right, 1-0 was the final score. Sulier Kakaki on the score sheet for Blackpool. Actually won the 2-1 win, so not too shabby. Burton against Wimbledon was a 1-1 draw in the end. Actually won with a 0-0 draw myself. Goal scorers on the day was Keynes Hemmings on the score sheet for Burton, Ryan Longman on the score sheet for Wimbledon as he got himself a share of the points. Doncaster Rovers against Crewe, big result for Crewe, 2-1 in the end. Actually won the 2-0 the other way, so shame on me. Goals from Charlie Kirk, Harry Pickering giving Crewe the win. Josh Sims giving the 1-0 goal for Doncaster as they suffered defeat. Meanwhile, Hull City against Peterborough, of course we talked about it briefly at the start of the show. 1-1 was the score for me, 2-1 for Peterborough. They managed to take up all 3 points, big result for them, moving up to third, breathing right down the necks of Hull. Goals for Malik Wicks gave Hull the lead. 63rd minute though, Johnson Clark Harris gave Peterborough the leveller, and Shiriki Dembele giving Peterborough the big fat W in the end to move on goal difference right behind Peterborough on the end. Lincoln City though did beat Ipswich 1-0 in the end to go top of the pops. That's right, Lincoln with the one and only goal was, who was it? It was George Grant from the penalty spot. John Nolan got himself sent off at Ipswich as they suffered a defeat, and they also fall down to 4th on this one. Now, Northampton Town against Charlton. Charlton on the move, boys. Charlton are on the move. 1-0 win for Charlton in the end. 2-0 win for Charlton, 1-0 for me. Darren Prattley on the score sheet for Charlton. Jack Sowerby with a big fat OG giving Charlton the big fat 3 points as well. Actually, with the 1-0 win myself. Ain't too shabby. Oxford against Swindon. Match postponed. That's right, we'll have to look at that one another day. Shrewsbury Town against Rochdale. 2-1 win for Rochdale, big result for them as they start to move away from that foot of the table where they're now up to 15th. Big results. Oliver Rathbone, Alex Newby on score sheet for Rochdale, Ariane Pierre on score sheet for Shrewsbury as they suffered defeat. Actually won with a 1-1 draw. Shame on me. Down the Stadium Light, or up at the Stadium Light, was a 2-1 win in fact it was a 3-1 win for Pompey. Actually won with a 2-1 win for Sunderland. Shame on me. And apparently that colourful fan from Portsmouth made the long trip all the way up to Stadium Light to support the team, ring the bell. Of course, they actually gave him a bit of a reward for that with a big 3 fat points. 3-1 win. Harness, Marquise with a couple of goals as well. Charlie Wyke on the score sheet for Sunderland. Luke O'Neill on the score sheet for Sunderland. Sorry to get himself sent off on this one. And Wigan 1, Plymouth 1, wrapped up the 3 points, or wrapped up the weekend fixtures there. Actually with a 2-1 for Wigan. Shame on me. Shame on me. Goals, Will Keynes on score sheet for Wigan. Ryan Hardy. Actually, I got myself 4, which is not great. In fact, actually puts me in the shit-faced gang, I think. Lincoln City are your leaders though. Brighton, according to this, are actually in 2nd spot. Hull are down to 3rd. Ipswich 4th. Portsmouth up to 5th. Sunderland up to 6th. It is tight as you like. All the way down to 11th. Could mathematically get themselves into the playoffs. by the Saturday kick-off as well. Meanwhile, Burton, Milton Keynes and Oxford and Swindon going down as it stands. Again, that depends on where you look on goal difference and all that kind of stuff. So that's that. What about you guys? Let's have a look at your pickaroonies then, shall we? 0 to 4 again, just right recap of the criterias. 5 or more gets you in the colourful zones, of course. Meanwhile, Yannick Bustler, you did alright. Kieran did poop. Vincent Hong did ghastly. Omar Esquivel, the Mexican sniper, he did poop as well. Brad Perfect did actually ghastly. Gaming Charlie did poop. Jason Salmon, ghastly. We are QPR, not too shabby. Olaji Ojo though, well done. The Patreon, of course, doing very, very well. Ultra Omar Murat did poop. It's okay, brother. It's okay. Elgin Cow as well. It's terrible, but it's alright. In the corner, we got okay, and he did okay. In respect to my okay brother there, even though he's not a patron. But Club Skills did poop. Don't know why I'm running to give you a round of applause, but anyway, Russell Frost, you did ghastly, brother. Absolutely terrible. But Joker Jakobsen also did very, very poopy from poopiness. Couldn't go ghastly as well. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on me. STFC Jenko did poop. Shepherd also did ghastly. Let's move on then, shall we? Simples 976 ghastly. Clarkoff, Captain Sense of Direction, not this week, brother. And Ayat Mohammed Hassan also did very, very shite. This is the leaderboard as it stands. Hopefully coming at you nice and cleanly. Respect. Give the respect where respect is due to OK. He is your main man with 6 correct. And of course, Alaji Ojo, the best of the rest there, alongside We Are QPR and Yannick Bustler. But that is just this week and this week alone. Who is your overall kingpin out of this division? Well, it is Russell Frost. Well done. But hot on his heels are Gaming Charlie and LG and Cow. Also breathing down the neck is Yogi Jakobsen. OK is in the top 5 alongside We Are QPR. So that could all change again. Double match week this week. This time next week, we could be looking at something completely different out in League One. So make sure you get your predictions in nice and early for the prediction league. Let's get into it then. Of course, taking on Wimbledon against Blackpool then, shall we? These two sides played each other 6 times in the past. 3 was for Blackpool, 1 for Wimbledon, and 2 draws. Of course, the last time that these two sides locked horns was in Wimbledon. It was a 0-0 draw back in February 2020. Goodness gracious me. Heading into this, Blackpool have actually failed to win the last 16 away matches in League One. They've also kept a clean sheet though in the last 4 matches against Wimbledon in all competitions. Coming into this though, Wimbledon just 1 win in the past 6. That was against Swindon back on the October the 10th. Meanwhile, St. Kitts and Blackpool just 1 win in the past 6 as well, but that was against the last MK Dons, of course. Bitter rivals for Wimbledon, of course. Heading into this though, quickly at the odds then, shall we? It's going to be a minute while I fire up the beast from the east. That is the League One odds machine. There we go. 23 to 10 for Wimbledon. 23 to 10 is also your draw. 65 is your away win, of course, for Blackpool. Blackpool coming to this in 17th spot. Win for them could go as high as 12th. Meanwhile, Wimbledon above them in the table actually with 9 points to the board. Win for them could go as high as 9th on this one. I'm going to give it to a draw on this one. I can't really separate this to 2 sides. Can you? Make sure your predictions go in the comment section down below. Nice and early. Next up, Bristol Rovers taking on Hull City, of course, one of the leading teams at the moment. These 2 sides have locked horns in the past 28 times. 13 wins for Bristol Rovers, just 8 wins for Hull, and 7 draws, of course, heading into this. Quick at the odds. The last 6 though sees 3 wins for Hull, 1 for Bristol Rovers, and 2 draws. Last time played each other in competitive action was in League 2 back in 2004. Goodness gracious me, it was a 3-0 win for Hull. That's right, Price, Delaney, and Elliott on the score sheet in a 3-0 win. Last time played each other at Bristol was back in 2003, November. About this time last year, actually. This time of the year. Williams Agogo on the score sheet for Bristol Rovers, and Burgess on the score sheet for Hull. Is that Ben Burgess? Is it? Probably. Heading into this though, Bristol Rovers in good form at the moment, just 1 defeat in the past 5 in all competitions. That was against Oxford in the Johnson Spate Trophy. Meanwhile, Hull coming to this just 2 wins in the past 4, losing to Fleetwood, and of course losing to Peterborough just the other day. Quickly at the odds then, shall we? On this one, 12 to 5 for Bristol Rovers, 23 to 10 is your draw, 23 to 20. Hull City are your favourites on this one. Hull coming to this second, but a win for them could go to top of the pops as well. Top of the pops. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers coming to 11th. Win for them could go as high as 5th in the table. I'm going to go with, stick my neck out, I'm going to go with a whole victory. And again, that could send Charlton Athletic taking on Oxford, of course. Will it happen? Will it happen? I don't know. These 2 sides played each other 41 times in the past. 17 wins for Charlton, 9 wins for Oxford, and 15 draws. The last 6 though sees nothing for Charlton, 4 wins for Oxford, and 2 draws. Last time played each other was at the Kazam back in April 2019. It was a 2-1 win for Oxford with goals from Curtis Nelson, Luke Galbert on the score sheet, with Simon Eastwood getting himself sent off. Chris Solly also got himself sent off for Charlton, as Lyle Taylor gave Charlton a consolation goal on the 5th minute on that one. Last time played each other at Charlton was a 1-1 draw back in October 2018, around about this time as well of year. Lyle Taylor on the score sheet, Gavin White as well. Both of those two players no longer with their respective clubs. Charlton have actually kept a clean sheet in their last 4 matches in League One. They've also won the last 3 matches in the division as well. They're unbeaten in 5, picking up 4 wins in the past 5 games, and also drawing 1, which was against Sunderland. That's all competitions meanwhile. Heading into this, Oxford though just 1 win in the past 3. That was against MK Dons all the way back on the 20th of October. Heading into this then, a quick look at the odds then, shall we? Charlton 64 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 7-4 is your away win. Charlton coming to this 8th in the table. Win for them could go as high as 4th. Meanwhile, their opposition, Oxford, are still in the old relegation zone, but a win could actually see them go up as high as 16th, depending on what goes on elsewhere. If it goes ahead, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Charlton on this one. Crewe Alexandra up against the leaders at the moment, Lincoln City, of course, locking horns. These two sides played each other 24 times in the past. 5 wins for Crewe, 11 wins for Lincoln, and 8 draws. The last 6 though sees 2 wins for Crewe, 3 wins for Lincoln, and 1 draw. Last time played each other was at Crewe. It was in the Calabria Cup. It was also earlier this year. It was a 2-1 win for Lincoln City. That's right. Goodness gracious me. Tom Hopper, Lewis Monson on the score sheet for Lincoln City. Meanwhile, Billy Zass Davis on the score sheet for Crewe. That's right. Goodness gracious me. 2-1 loss in the Calabria Cup earlier. However, they did play each other in the league last couple of seasons back. It was a 2-1 win for Crewe Alexandra. Goodness gracious me. Back in Boxing Day 2018. Chris Porter, James Jones on the score sheet for Crewe. Harry Anderson on the score sheet for Lincoln City in a loss in League 2. Hey, heading into this, Lincoln have actually kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches in League 1. They're also undefeated in 9 last 10 matches as well in the top flight. Well, not top flight, in this division. Meanwhile, Crewe coming to this. Just 1 defeat the past 6. That was against Sunderland a couple of games back. Meanwhile, St. Kitts and Lincoln, they did lose to Bristol Rovers, of course, all the way back on the October the 10th. Quickly look at the odds there on this one, then, shall we? Tight one this one. Crewe do very, very well. 64 for Crewe. 94 is your draw. 95 is your away win. That is, of course, league leaders Lincoln. Crewe coming to this 13th. The table win for them could go as high as 7th. Of course, Lincoln, top of the pops at the moment. Top of the pops, and a win. That could be top of the pops. Going to go with Lincoln on this one with a 1-0 win. Not big, not much, but just enough to maintain their status. Next up, Ipswich Town up against Gillingham, of course. These two have played 12 times in the past. 8 wins for Ipswich, 2 wins for Gillingham, and 2 draws, of course. Heading into this last 6, though, sees 4 wins for Ipswich, 1 win for Gillingham, and 1 draw. Last time they played each other was at Portman Road earlier in the season in the Johnston's Plate Trophy. That's right, 2-0 win for Ipswich. Admiral Dobra on the score sheet in Ben Falami as well. And a 2-0 win. However, last time played in league action was also last season. It was a 0-0 draw at Portman Road. Goodness gracious me. Ipswich kept a clean sheet in the last 4 matches against Gillingham in all competitions. They also kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches at home this season as well. Gillingham failed to score in the last 3 matches as well. Dominic Samuel needs to step up the plate. 3 defeats on the spin for Gillingham. Actually just 1 win in the past 6 in all competitions against Oxford on October the 10th. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Ipswich, losing to Doncaster and Lincoln City in quick succession. Quick look at the odds on this one then, shall we? We have 20-13 on Ipswich. Stone Cold favourites. 3-1 is your, 4-1 is your away win. Despite the back-to-back defeats, Ipswich are your favourites. They come to this 4th in the table, and a win for them could go top of the pops, top of the pops. Top of the pops. Meanwhile, of course, Gillingham come into this free falling at the moment, all the way down to 14th right now. 3 defeats on spin, but a win for them could go as high as 7th, of course. I'm sticking with Ipswich Town. Paul Lambert's boys will get the victory. 2-0, comfortably. Job done. Milton Keynes Dons taking on Wigan, of course. These two sides played each other 8 times in the past. 4 wins for Wigan, 2 wins for MK Dons, and 3 draws. The last 6, though, sees 4 wins for Wigan, 1 win for MK Dons, and 1 draw. Last time played each other was at the JW back in 2018. It was a 5-1 win for Wigan. Goodness gracious me. Will Grigg was on fire that day with a hat-trick. Ethan Abans Blake with a big fat OG. Nick Powell as well. Callum Britton on the goal score for MK Dons on that day. However, last time I played that at Stadium MK was a 1-0 win for Wigan as well back in 2017. Nick Powell on the score sheet once again. Scott Wotton, Callum Aldo get himself sent off on that day. Meanwhile, Milton Keynes Dons have actually failed to win 10 of the last 11 matches in League 1. Meanwhile, Wigan the same sort of form actually without a win in 5. Of course, last victory was against Doncaster back at the start of the month. Quickly the odds on this one then, shall we? 2019 on MK Dons your favourites. 5 is your draw. 3-1 is your away win. That is Wigan. Of course, Wigan at the moment just above the drop zone. 7 points on the board. A win for them could go as high as 12th. MK Dons come into this in the drop zone, but a win for them could go above Wigan up to as high as 17th on this one. I am going to go with a draw on this one. Not really too much to separate the two sides on this one, so I'm going to go with a draw. Peterborough up against Burton, of course. Peterborough up to 3rd, maybe 2nd, depending on where you look. These two sides played each other 10 times in the past. 4 wins for Peterborough, 3 wins for Burton, and 3 draws. Wow, wee wow. The last 6, though, sees 4 wins for Peterborough, 1 win for Burton, and 1 draw. Last time played each other was in the Johnston's Plate Trophy earlier in the season. It was a 3-3 draw, but Peterborough got the victory on this one, maybe on penalties on this. Goal scorers on the day: Flynn Clark, Louis Reed, Niall Mason on the score sheet, Joe Powell with a couple of goals, Steve Lawless as well for Burton. However, last time played each other in the league at Peterborough was a 1-0 win win back in November 2019. Joe Ward on the score sheet for Peterborough. Borough have actually won the last 8 matches in the Championship. Better bit of good form for them at home, should I say. Burton have actually failed to win the last 6 matches, both home and away. Without a win in 6, Burton heading into this, picking up 2 draws in the past 3 though, but 6 wins on the spin for Peterborough in all competitions. Wow, they're looking very, very good. Could it be their year? Could it be their year? Quickly the odds then, shall we, on this one? What do we have on this? What do we have on this? What do we have? We have 2-1 on. Burton are your favourite. 16-5 is draw. 11-2 is your away win. That is Burton. Burton coming to this bottom of the table, 5 points on the board, but a win for them could go as high as 17th. Peterborough coming to this third on the table, but guess what? If a win for them, they could go.
Tell the pups. And I'm going to get
them.
pups.
Maybe. Swindon Town up against Accrington. Stanley. Who were they? These 2 side played each other just 6 times in the past. 4 wins for Accrington, 1 win for Swindon, and 1 draw. The last time we played each other was in Swindon. It was a 3-0 win for Swindon. That was in League 2 back in 2018. Mark Richards, Kissy Anderson, and Paul Muller on the score sheet for Swindon. James Dunn and Jimmy Dunn, the Dunns, both getting sent off respective sides there. Swindon have actually lost their last 4 matches in League 1. Swindon have actually got a clean sheet in the last 3 home matches against Accrington in all competitions. They come into this though, 5 defeats on the spin. Swindon not looking good. Meanwhile, Accrington just won defeat the past 4 or 5. That was against Ipswich back on the 17th of October. Quickly the odds on this one. The odds on this one, we see. Do we have the odds? I don't even see the odds. Is the game going to take place? I don't know. Probably not. I can't see it. Can't see the odds. But if it does game take place, Accrington Stanley could go as high as 15 points on the board, but up as 5th. Meanwhile, Swindon are in the drop zone at the moment, but a win for them could go as high as 16th on this one. I'm going to go with a draw. Again, playing it safe. Meanwhile, Fleetwood Town against Shrewsbury Town. The battle of the towns. These 2 sides play each other 13 times in the past. 6 wins for Fleetwood, 2 wins for Shrewsbury, and of course 5 draws. Heading into this, though, the last 6, those 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Last time played each other was in Fleetwood back in January 2020. It was 2-2 draw. Lewis Coyle and Josh Marsh on score sheet, ex-Rover there. Sean Wally on score sheet, Jason Cummins, Suckboy on score sheet for Shrewsbury in a 2-2 draw. Heading into this though, Fleetwood just won defeat the past 6 up against Accrington, a couple of games back. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Shrewsbury. Before that, they were unbeaten in 4. Quickly the odds on this one then, shall we? Fleetwood Town 21-20 for the favourites, aren't they? 12-5 is your draw, 30-5 is your away win. That is Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury Town coming to this just above the drop zone, but a win for them could go as high as 16th. Meanwhile, Fleetwood coming to this 12th, win for them could go as high as 7th, just outside the playoffs. Of course, I'm going with Barton's boys with a 3-1 win to take it to the bank. Next up, Plymouth Argyle up against Doncaster Rovers. Of course, these 2 sides locking horns 26 times in the past. 12 wins for Doncaster, 7 wins for Plymouth, and 7 draws. The last 6 though between these 2 sides sees 2 wins for Plymouth, 3 wins for Doncaster, and 1 draw. Last time played each other was in Doncaster back in 2019, around about April time. Tommy Rowe and Danny Andrew giving Doncaster the big fat W. However, last time played each other in Plymouth was in September 2018 in League 1. 3-2 win. Guess what? For Doncaster, you got to go all the way back to 2017 for Plymouth. Last victorious over Doncaster, and it was in Doncaster. Meanwhile, that game back in September 2018, 3-2 win for Doncaster. Away days for them. John Marquis, Matty Blair on the score sheet. Marquis got a couple of goals. Ruben Lamares and Graham Carey, of course, on the score sheet for Plymouth. Of course, Carey now out in Bulgaria. Heading into this, what we got for Plymouth? Actually, just 1 defeat the past 4. Meanwhile, 2 wins of the past 5 for Doncaster, of course. Up and down form for Doncaster. Look at the odds then, shall we, on this one? What do we have on this? Do we see them? Yes, we do. 2-1 for Plymouth, 11-8 for Doncaster, 11-5 is your draw. Plymouth coming to this in 9th spot, but a win for them could go as high as 5th. Doncaster coming to this in 7th, a win for them could go as high as 4th. Wow, another tough one to call, but I'm going to give it to Plymouth in the end with a 2-1 win. Next up, Pompey against Northampton Town. Of course, these 2 sides played each other 19 times in the past. 10 wins for Portsmouth, 6 wins for Northampton, and 3 draws. Wow. Of course, the last 6 though sees 4 wins for Portsmouth, 2 wins for Northampton, and no draws. Last time for each other was in the Johnson's Plate Trophy at Fratton Park. It was a 2-1 win back in 2019. However, last time for each other in the league was also in League 1 back in 2017. It was a 3-1 win for Portsmouth back in the day. Matthew Kennedy, Oliver Hawkins with a couple of goals as well for Pompey. Chris Long on the score sheet for Northampton. Heading into this though, Northampton have actually lost 5 of the last 6 matches in League 1, whereas actually Portsmouth have actually won the last 3 home matches against Northampton in all competitions. Northampton have actually conceded at least 2 goals in their last 5 of the last 6 matches as well. With 1 win in the past 4 games for Northampton. That was against Swindon. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 6 for Pompey. That was against Doncaster a couple of games back. Meanwhile, look at the odds on this one then, shall we? We have 94 on for Portsmouth. Stone Cold favourites on this one. 65 is your draw. 30-2. That's your away win. That's Northampton Town. Northampton Town coming to this in 19th spot, but a win for them could go as high as 12th. Meanwhile, Pompey coming to this in 5th, but a win for them could go as high as 4th if they get the W, and that's what they're going to get. They're going to go with a 2-0 win for Portsmouth on this one. And wrapping it up. It'll be Rochdale against Sunderland. These 2 sides played each other just 4 times in the past. It's actually been 4 wins out of 4 for Sunderland in all competitions. Last time they played each other was at the Stadium of Light back in February 2020. It was a 3-0 win for Sunderland with goal scorers on the day. Lyndon Gooch with a couple of goals. Yayan O'Connell with a big fat OG. However, last time they played each other at Spotlands, got that one out of the bag there. 2-1 win for Sunderland back in August 2019. Callum Campson on the score sheet for Rochdale. He's now at Fleetwood, I believe. Eddie McGeady and Charlie White on the score sheet for Sunderland. Heading into this, Sunderland have actually won their last 4 matches against Rochdale. Of course they have. They've also got the clean sheet in the last 3 away matches as well. They come into this just 1 defeat the past 6. That was against Portsmouth last time around. Meanwhile, Rochdale 3 wins the past 5, losing to Accrington and losing to Hull in a sandwich there. Meanwhile, heading into this, the book these odds 5-1 for Rochdale, 7-4 on Sunderland. Favourites 14-5 is draw. Sunderland come into this 6th, but a win for them could go as high as 4th. Meanwhile, Rochdale come into this 15th. A win for them could go as high as 7th. Wow. Gonna go with a 2-1 win though for the Sunderland boys to take it to the bank. Take it to the bank indeed. And this was what the table will look like if I'm spot on. Lincoln City will still be your leaders. Peterborough will be up to 2nd. Hull 3rd, of course, on goal difference. Ipswich, Portsmouth, and Sunderland make up your top 6. For the table will be Burton, Oxford, Shrewsbury, and MK Dons going down as it stands. But it is still very, very early days, so let's not get too excited. I do believe Oxford will make a charge. I do believe Wigan will make a charge, and I do believe Fleetwood Town will make a charge toward those top 6 in that discussion anyway. That's it, my friends. That's all I've got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And if you are new, bang your subscribe. And of course, keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, League 1 related, World Football related. We're all here under one brewski. That's right. Of course, support the channel in another way. If you want to do so, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. That's it, my friends. Of course, double match week, triple match week, whatever you want to call it. Games coming thick and fast across League 1. And of course, the rest of the EFL. Make sure you stop by and check all the other videos out. Until then, hopefully you have a good week. Countdown to Halloween begins now.